Robbie Williams Rewind.
Welcome to Robbie Williams Rewind. We are the champions. I'm Matt.
And I'm Lucy.
And along with help from special guest fans, we take you on an in-depth rewind through the solo career of multi-award-winning singer, songwriter and entertainer Robbie Williams.
So we don't actually have a guest fan to join us today, or anyone that we're interviewing. We're just gonna chat to each other, which is quite unusual actually. I can't remember the last time we've done an episode like this, if ever.
We do talk to each other though.
Well, we obviously talk to each other at home. So we were lucky enough to suddenly be invited to Robbie's launch of his Radical Honesty exhibition at the Moco Museum this week.
Yeah.
It was literally out of the blue. I was out shopping with our daughter and she asked me to check something to do with guides or whatever, and I looked at my emails and I suddenly saw this email I didn't recognise, looked at it, and it said, "We'd like to invite you to the opening of Robbie's art exhibition this evening. Please can you RSVP? We think your previous invite may have got stuck in spam." I was like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, well, it seems like they tried to invite us I don't know, some time ago, and that email didn't get through. It didn't go to junk. And then, so it was a bit of a mad dash, wasn't it? I dashed back from work, got back, and then we got into London and, went. So that was pretty last minute.
I was a bit like, oh my God, the state of my hair. What am I going to wear?
That's what I thought about my hair. Yeah.
God, what are you like? So we managed to get there for about 7 o'clock, which was quite good going considering we only saw the email at 3:30. And when we got there was quite a few fans that we recognised out the front, so we went along and spoke to all of them. That was nice. Yeah,
it was nice to see some of our friends out the front.
And they were all very happy for us and excited that we were getting to go in, so thank you to everyone for being nice about that.
Lovely to see you all. Yeah, it was very nice. It wasn't too busy outside, was it? There was sort of a line or two of people along the barrier on the pavement outside the Moco, which I don't know if we've mentioned, but it's in Marble Arch in London. Mm-hmm. In fact, absolutely opposite Marble Arch.
Yeah.
Which you can't see at the moment because it's covered in scaffolding. Yeah. But it is there. Great location.
So we joined the queue. The queue seemed to go on quite a way, but thankfully we were quite early in the queue, so got in fairly quickly. And they kept everyone on the ground floor. We had a glass of Prosecco, was it? Or was it champagne?
I think it was pink champagne.
Was it? So they kind of kept us all in this holding area downstairs. We just kind of stood there having a drink, and I spotted Claire from Can See, Can't See, who's the blind lady that Robbie sung to at the Albert Hall during his Better Man gigs. And we've got a mutual friend, so I went over to speak to Claire and we chatted to her for a little while. That was nice.
That was nice, yeah. That was lovely to catch up with her.
Yeah. She's actually a chef on This Morning once a month, which is very exciting. She's doing very well at the moment. And she's obviously a big Robbie fan, so she was excited to be there.
Yeah, go and follow her on Instagram.
Yes, Can See, Can't See. Yeah. And we saw Keith Lemon, or Lee Francis as he's now known as.
Yep, Andy Goldstein with him.
And then finally, Ida came down the stairs first and with Teddy. Ida came down the stairs very gingerly. She didn't want to fall down the stairs in front of everyone.
Well, it was a spiral, not spiral metal staircase, but a spiral wooden staircase. And, everybody was looking at it. Yeah. So, if you slipped, you wouldn't be able to style it out because everyone would see. But yeah, all eyes were on that staircase, obviously.
And then eventually Rob came down. And did he come down and then go back up again?
No, he didn't come down. He came from the front because...
Oh, that's right, because he went out to see the fans.
I think they'd taken him probably through the shop because that's the only way of getting through without going absolutely outside. So I think they'd taken him through the shop and then they'd done some photos at the front because they had the
the branding board.
The branding board there. And then, he popped outside. The nice thing for everybody outside was that there was huge glass windows in front of the sort of hallway before you get into the actual gallery. So when he went out to do his photos, everybody could see him having his photos done, and Ida and Teddy. So, and then obviously he went outside and did a few photos, didn't he?
Yeah.
Not too many, but and then so I think that he then came in after that. And there was, and I think that actually, looking back on it, that's the reason why he was probably later than I think he should have been coming in, because obviously they had to give the signal to the family who owned the Moco to do the speech.
Oh, yeah.
And it was, the time seemed to be creeping on, didn't it, when it actually happened?
Nearly 9 o'clock or something.
So he kind of wandered through the gallery, through everyone, and then made his way up to the steps.
Right, that's it.
And then
he gave a speach.
Yeah.
Should we read his speech?
Yeah, let's have a read of his speech. It's quite funny, actually. He pulled out a piece of A4 paper from his pocket.
So I'll read it because I've handwritten it, and Matt may not be able to read all of my writing.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming tonight. It means a lot to me. You know, there's a lot of negativity when it comes to celebrities doing art. They say they shouldn't do it. In particular, a few things have been levelled at me. The question is always, why? And when they say why, it's always with a dismissive tone. They say, when you've had 15 #1 albums and you sell stadiums around the world, why? When you've got more Brits than anyone else, why? These are not my words, these are the critics saying this. They say, yes, Robbie, your art may be genre-defining and incredibly moving, but why? They say, you can spot you're an obvious genius, Robbie, we're not stupid. But what about the struggling artists? What about them? Well, I can look those critics dead in the eye tonight and say this. When I successfully commercialise this project, and I will take some of the cash and buy some of their art with it. But just bits and bobs. So let the critics say that I'm too multifaceted, that I should leave room for the less creatively gifted. Let them fire away with their questions. How can anybody smell that nice? Are there any tickets left for your stadium tour this summer? Well, there's a few left for the second night at the Emirates, the Arsenal gig, but they're going really quickly. Thank you for asking me that, critics. Some may call me a national treasure. Well, I say, what point is there in being a national treasure if you don't give some of that treasure away in the form of merchandise and affordable, yet aspirationally priced prints numbered 1 to 100. Yes, if I listened to what the critics say, I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't be anyone. I wouldn't go anywhere. And yet, here I stand before you yet again, with complete humility. In fact, if there was an award for most humble celebrity, I would definitely come second. That's how humble I am. Anyway, enough about the critics. Tonight's about you, and you telling me how fucking amazing my art is. Thank you for coming.
And that went down very well, didn't it? It was,
lots of laughs.
Very well received. Yeah, I guess everyone in there knew what to expect because it was Rob. But it was, it was a lovely tongue-in-cheek start to the evening.
And he was wearing double denim as well, looking very nice.
Double denim, rocking that.
I also really liked Ida's jacket that she had on. It was kind of multicoloured
Very
squares.
nice.
Yeah, different.
Minecraft.
Yeah, I thought Minecraft as well.
No, but it was lovely. It was really nice. They were both casually but smartly dressed. It was nice, wasn't it? So it's slightly understated, not too over the top.
Yeah.
I thought it was quite nice. And there was a very eclectic mix of people there, wasn't there? Obviously, there was loads of people from the art world, which we wouldn't have known who they were. But
no.
And then there was somewhat of a stampede to go upstairs, wasn't there? I mean, we were quite near the front. Well, we weren't at the front, which is unusual for us because we had a good view where we were stood, didn't we? But then, there was everyone sort of, fairly forcefully walked their way up the stairs.
Yeah. And then by the time we got up there, Rob was obviously already surrounded by people It was just kind of manic, wasn't it?
Yeah. And so for anyone that hasn't been to the Moco before, it's the Museum of Modern and Contemporary Art. And there are multiple spaces. So there's actually 3 floors in the London one, I think. Yeah. Well, 3 that you can access anyway. The basement, the ground floor, which we went in on, and then the first floor where his exhibition is. And he's kind of got one end of the top room, hasn't he? Really?
Yeah, about half of it.
Half of that top room, yeah, it's good. So when everyone went upstairs, obviously the whole area was kind of filled, but then we wandered around towards that exhibition. But yeah, he was completely surrounded by people.
Yeah, and security guards as well.
Yeah, but it was nice. It was a nice atmosphere.
They did actually say to us on the way in, please take photos of the art, but please put your phones away around Rob. We've got photographers here that are taking photos, so don't feel that you need to take photos. So we kind of respected that and put our phones away. Didn't really take any photos of Rob. We took a couple of short videos scanning the room just to use for content, but yeah, but a lot of the people in there were just standing around taking photos of him and trying to get selfies with him. And he did do lots of selfies.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? I think it's a weird one, isn't it?
It is.
You sometimes look at it and you think he stood in the middle of his artwork, hosting the event essentially, and talking to people about his art, or wanting to talk to people about his art, which is why he's there. And then you've got people that just want selfies, which, I get.
Yeah.
But did the people that went and had a selfie to say anything about the art?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he had, it was...
What do you think? There was about 150 people there or something?
I would say at least. I'd say there could have been even 200. But it was quite a lot. Obviously, the space wasn't massive, but there was quite a lot there. And it was a bit of a party vibe. Obviously, people were getting drinks, there was music playing and stuff.
There was a free bar.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a lovely event. It was nicely done. A little bit challenging sometimes to actually stand back and look at the work, because there was quite a lot of people there, people moving about, and because it was like a party and not so much. Well, it was an art viewing, but it was difficult because you had groups of people like kind of stood right in front of something, and so it was harder to see it. We did see everything, but yeah.
Yeah, and then there was a nice moment where he spotted you, didn't he? And he gave you a thumbs up.
Yes, he did. Yeah,
quite early, actually.
Yeah, he just kind of looked through a couple of people where he was stood and just saw us and just gave the odd thumbs up, which was quite ironic because he was stood near the
introvert chair,
which
is about.
Which, I mean, we've probably got it. We could probably read it out, but basically, when you're in the introvert chair, people are allowed to put the thumbs up to you. So I just found it funny that he was near the introvert chair and put thumbs up to me. It was quite funny. Anyway, but yeah, we enjoyed kind of having a little wander around, didn't we? And taking a look at the different artworks. It's nice to see some of it in more sculpted physical form, rather than just prints, large prints on the wall. And obviously in Amsterdam there was a digital installation, but there wasn't here. But I mean, it was different, wasn't it? It was nice.
I liked seeing Blanche,
yeah.
That was good. But the clothing items were amazing, weren't they? The big hoodie, which was called Prescribed Identity hoodie, with all the drug names on it. I loved that. That was massive.
Yeah, I really like that.
And the emotion sweater.
Yep.
So lots of words on it: paranoid, empathetic, optimistic, neurotic, all these kinds of words. Yeah, that was so colourful, and I like that one. And the statue, the black statue, where he said it was actually of Bo.
Yeah.
Wearing that Elvis costume. That was cool. I also like how they've kept any spelling mistakes or grammatical errors in his work and haven't corrected anything, even when turning it into a statue. Because on Bo's statue, well, it's not actually called that, but the statue that is of Bo, that's got a grammatical error in it, but they've still carved that into the stone.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
And then there was another nice moment where he spotted Claire from Can See, Can't See, and he kind of weaved his way through everyone saying, excuse me, and just went through everyone, parted the crowd to reach her and gave her a big hug, and they had a little conversation, and she had a photo with him. And so that was a really nice moment. He was massive grin on his face. He was really pleased to see her.
Yeah, it just shows how Rob is hyper aware. It's the same as when he's on stage. That room, or the kind of, because it's one room, but it's sort of sectioned off with white walls and sort of make it different areas, basically. No doors, just open space. But he has that innate ability to basically see 360 almost what's all around him.
Yeah.
And so he clocked us, he clocked other people, and it was incredible how he was, obviously his security were making sure that they kept people kind of not all over him and moved them back a bit. But it was incredible how he was working the room, because he was seeing people, I guess he was seeing art critics, friends, celebrities, journalists, influencers, all sorts of people. And wasn't it so ironic, right, that he was there doing something which we know he finds very difficult at times.
Yeah.
And then his art actually was talking about
exactly
how he finds social settings difficult. What was the one that... What
was radical honesty at the social event.
Yes.
I didn't want to come here, and now I'm here. I still don't want to be here.
Yeah. So the irony of being stood in the middle of a marauding bunch of people trying to talk to you and get selfies, or some people were, it's weird, isn't it? Because it's sort of like, who is it? Was it Andy Warhol that said art imitating itself or something? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm just trying to sound artistic and creative. I don't know if that actually means anything, but yeah, it was like Rob was his own artwork in his own art exhibition. And even when he came over to us, he said, "Hey, champions," he said, "my social batteries are a little bit low, so I thought I'd come over and have a chat with you," which I thought was quite nice. That was lovely.
Yeah, he gave you a big hug.
Did. We had a big man hug.
He gave me a kiss on each cheek, which was nice. And he kind of said, talked about how he went viral the other day with the selfies on the plane.
Yeah. Which again was kind of ironic considering the situation I guess it's different. When you're working, you put yourself in the situation.
Yeah, he was working, yeah.
And so he has to accept that he can't, even though the gallery had said no photos, he's got to accept that actually suddenly, because that started, he had to play ball with it. But I guess when you're in your private life and you're switched off, that was what the whole essay was really about, wasn't it? It's like, when does it actually stop?
And then he kind of asked us about who we were going to interview next on the podcast.
Yeah, he was really interested to know who was next.
I don't think we'll say who.
Well, we won't say who. Let's leave that as a bit of a cliffhanger, a bit of a teaser. But he was surprised at the answer, put it that way. Yeah, I'm not gonna say any more because it'll enable you to guess. But yes, there is someone very, very special on the way. So that's all I'll say.
Yeah, and it better happen. And then he kind of said that he was looking forward to the tour, and you said we're looking forward to the new music, Rob. Yeah,
I just thought I'd get it in there, right? Because I think the thing is, we've spoken to Rob and we've met him on a few occasions. We're very fortunate and very grateful to be able to do that. And I wouldn't say as I'm quite as starstruck as maybe you are, but you were fine.
Yeah, I was.
The challenge is that it's only going to be short, right? So we weren't in podcast mode.
No,
we didn't interview him. We purposely both agreed we weren't going to do that, even if there was an option. We just said we were going to have a chat. But what it means is you're racking your brains for questions. And you're like, oh my God, how can I use this type? What can I say? What can I ask?
Yeah.
And just as he was about to close the conversation off and sort of politely say goodbye and move on to the next person, it suddenly came to me. I was like, I've got to say something about the tour. I have to. Because we talked to Carl about the tour. And then I was just like, hey, looking forward to the tour, Rob. Oh, yeah, it's going to be great. And then I said, looking forward to the new music.
And then
I just thought I had to get that in there because we need some new music.
he kind of cheekily just looked back at us then, didn't he? Because he had already sort of started walking off saying, yeah, shall I send you some of my new music? Shall I do that? You won't share it, will you? As if he's going to send us.
I thought he was serious, but
No.
we haven't had it yet. So, yeah. Lucy knew he was joking. He did have a cheeky grin on his face, but then again, he has most of the time. So,
yeah.
But no, it was a lovely chat. Nice to catch up with him. Always so kind and so gracious, and asking about how we were doing and how the podcast was going in terms of who we were interviewing. That's always lovely, nice.
Yeah,
so
nice.
Yeah, and we're getting back on at some point when we've got a new album to talk about, or maybe the tour, or
something.
We'll get him on.
And Teddy was there as well. She's taller than me at age 12. I mean, no, that's not hard.
She was lovely.
She said hello, how are you to us, which like we were just stood against a wall and she was kind of stood the other side of some person. She kind of looked round this person and looked at us and said, hi, how are you? I just thought, wow, that's so nice, so polite.
Yes, she certainly knows how to work the room as well. I think her parents have shown her how that's done, to be honest. Yeah, but she was lovely, yes.
But I just found it, as you were saying before, just really interesting to watch Rob and just know that he was struggling inside, but you couldn't tell at all.
It's very intense. I mean, it's not, like when you have your own party, like a birthday party or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or some sort of celebration where you're hosting it. Everyone wants to talk to you because, of course, they do. But there are points where it's not as if you've got a queue. and he was surrounded by people and it was non-stop. I mean, literally, he spent, I don't know, what time did we
Well, I
upstairs?
guess it was about an hour, just over an hour.
About an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he stopped talking to people during the hour and 15 minutes.
No.
It was, so that's got to be hard, like back to back. And I think when you listen to him talking, he makes every conversation relevant and makes the person feel important. Oh, we saw Louis Theroux there as well. Louis Theroux,
he was there. Yeah.
Documentary journalist.
Yeah. I'm hoping there might be some kind of documentary in the works with Rob. That would be good.
Know. I think one thing I would say in terms of the artwork itself, because obviously we've talked a lot about the event.
Yeah.
I always find it difficult whether to provide loads of spoilers on it, but then again, it's out there, on all the news articles and things. But I think he's got thousands of these pieces.
Yeah.
But I think the ones that he picked work really well, and they're funny and they're huge. They're like taller than me. They're huge prints, most of them. But I did, as I said at the beginning, I did like the physical form ones as well. That was interesting. That was a bit of a new perspective on things, to actually see things sculpted, especially the gravestone. I found that quite funny. I can't remember what it said. What did it say?
It says, I'm dead. Now please like and subscribe.
Yeah. Just the usual Rob humour. But yeah, it was really nicely curated. Yeah.
And then we kind of headed down to the shop after that, didn't we? And looked at the shop.
We did.
We bought quite a few things. Bought the book, which is really nice. It's $29.50. It has got all the art from Amsterdam, Barcelona, and London in it, and some other things that I haven't seen before as well. different quotes and things. And yeah, it's really, really nice hardback book.
It is a lovely book, actually. Really nicely done.
Yeah, definitely worth buying, I'd say. We got a couple of postcards, a fridge magnet. But the funny thing...
T-shirts.
Oh, just a couple of T-shirts each, yeah. The mixtape T-shirt, that's nice.
And a nice blue colour. Really like that.
We've both got the same T-shirt, so we might wear that on tour.
We're matching on tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other funny thing that they've got is these cards. It's like a deck of cards. It says, what would Robbie do?
They're clarity cards.
Clarity cards. So you can pick out a card from the deck and basically it'll tell you what Robbie would do in your situation, and it's his kind of advice or wisdom to you. So I thought it would be funny to pick one on the podcast, ask a question and pick a card and see what Robbie would say.
Shall I ask the cards a question?
Yeah,
then?
ask the cards a question. Matt.
Okay. Do I have to do anything special?
No, I don't think so.
Right, okay. Will we enjoy new music on the tour?
Okay. Do you want to pick out a
Yeah,
card?
let's pick that one out. Don't want to be a judgy judgerton, but you're really fucking this up.
I don't think that one works.
I mean, maybe that wasn't the right question. Oh, you need to ask it like a question about yourself, don't you?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, a judgy judgerton, that's definitely Rob. Do you want to ask one?
What shall I ask? Will we get a new album this year from Robbie? Cake. The answer is cake, 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 cake.
Love it. I've just started a new job at work. What's your advice? I wouldn't if I were you. Oh, well, I've already done it, so... Love that. Go on, Lucy, think of one more.
I want to skive off work to go to more Robbie concerts. What should I do?
Oh, your boss isn't listening.
He doesn't listen. None of this is real. It doesn't matter.
Oh, that's good advice. Everything's a story. Yeah.
So yeah, these cards are quite funny. They've got other things on there. You know, they're just like, turn your back on this wicked world and make yourself comfy. Don't let what happened last time happen again. Fuck it off. You know the answer. Just commit to it.
Oh, I've got a question.
Okay.
Give me some advice for Lucy's upcoming birthday. Here we are. That one. Oh, I picked two. It's just no, actually that's funny. The two I picked, the first one I picked was pick another card on the loo. Right, now I'll read the answer. So, what should I do for Lucy's birthday? Was that the question?
Yeah.
You know the answer, just commit to it. Okay, I do know the answer because she already told me what she wants, so that's good. Good advice, Rob. They're quite funny. That is a good present for someone, actually. That's good.
It is.
Well, the book, the cards, the T-shirts, posters, postcards.
There's tote bags as well.
Tote bags.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely wanting to sell the merchandise. Oh my God, that interview, well, we should mention that. He spoke to ITV News and...
You shared it actually, so you can look at it on our socials, but tell people what it said.
Yeah, and so this really serious arts correspondent for ITV was asking about his art and, you know, and he said, and what would you like people coming to take away from the art? And Robbie just says, merchandise.
And he said it really, really quickly as well. I think the guy was expecting a deep, long answer and it wasn't. It was good, wasn't it?
It was very funny. I did laugh a lot. And we showed our kids and they both laughed as well.
Oh, it was very good.
And then on Saturday, we actually went back to the Moco because we'd already booked tickets to go on Saturday because we weren't expecting to go on Thursday. And we took our son because we were already in London for another thing with him. And it was just really nice to walk around and see it in the quiet, how it's kind of supposed to be viewed.
Yeah, it was really nice actually. And it was interesting just to see other people's reactions. I think had our son not have so desperately wanted to go home and play and do gaming, I could have easily, there's if you go there, there's, like in a lot of art galleries, there aren't many there, but there's 3 or 4 seats in a window seat, and you can just kind of sit there. And I think sometimes it's a nice thing to do in an art gallery, right? You just sit there and look at whatever, the pictures or other people. And so we just sat there and did a little bit of people watching. There weren't loads of people there at that point, but there were people wandering about. And I heard someone come through the door and go, she was saying to her husband, so did he did it? What, he did this? Oh, it's good, isn't it? Just like a surprise. She obviously didn't know that isn't what they came in there for.
Yeah.
And then they proceeded to have a look around and enjoyed it. And so it's interesting to hear people's comments. And then you overheard someone talking as well.
Yeah, so there was a older kind of posh looking lady. I think she might have been with her daughter or a friend, I'm not sure. But she had a massive grin on her face, taking photos of it. And she was saying, oh, it's so good. I love it. Oh, I'm surprised. Oh, his is the best in here, I think. She was absolutely loving it. Yeah, so it was really good to actually just view the normal general public looking at it and loving it.
And then there was a couple of girls, they were wandering around together. They were in that room where the introvert chair is. And they were just, each one, they were reading out what each piece of art said. And each time they read it out, they were just laughing out loud.
Yeah, they were.
And I just thought that was lovely. Because obviously I think they were fans. So they were appreciating the humour and understanding his humour. And I do wonder, well, obviously we did see some people that maybe could have answered this question. I do wonder what it's like for people who only know him as the public figure, do you know what I mean? And know his music, but have never really heard him talk and never really heard him. I mean, obviously, it's hard not to have ever heard him talk, but do you know what I mean? Don't know his sense of humour necessarily. I mean, obviously, his humour comes through his songs and in his performance.
Yeah.
But if you really haven't seen much of that, and then you go and see the artwork, then you realise that he's got a wicked sense of humour, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it was brilliant. I loved it. We had a great time. It's been a good week.
It's very good. And I would recommend anybody to go and see it.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can see it through photos and videos. And what I would recommend is, if you do want to have a preview of it, go to the webpage, go to our website, robbiewilliamsrewind.com, have a look at the page for this episode, and also have a look at our socials on Facebook and Insta at Rewind Robbie, and X, wherever else Lucy posts. And you can see some of the things that we saw and some of the things that happened before you go. But I would recommend going. There's something about physically being there that is cool. And just being able to sit in the space and just enjoy it. Yeah, there's something about that.
And to see the clothing, big clothing items in person.
Yeah, it's hard to get the actual perspective on that, isn't it? Unless you're right there. Yeah.
Take it in. Yeah, it's definitely worth going. It's open till the 24th of October, I think. So it's quite a while. And I think the shop said that they were going to make sure they had enough stock to keep going until then. I don't think they're going to run out of merchandise. I think they've ordered enough and they'll keep reordering enough. So I don't think anyone has to worry about that. Yeah.
It's in a great part of London as well. So you can do all your shopping on Oxford Street.
Yeah, just down the road from Primark. So I think that's it. That's our evening at the Moco covered.
Yeah, it was very enjoyable, and we were very privileged to be invited, and we would recommend everybody goes and takes a look.
Definitely.
Because it's a really great exhibition. And I think it's really nice how he's done the 3 different curations. Mm-hmm. Amsterdam, Barcelona, London. And yeah, it's nice to see it all in the book as well.
Yeah.
So,
And you can't buy the merchandise online, unfortunately. You can only buy it in the shop. But you can go into the shop without going into the museum.
Yes, you can.
So that's a possibility as well.
Yeah, so enjoy Radical Honesty. So we're planning on more guests, more special guests joining the show, and I'm sure we'll have more fan guests as well. We'll be talking about the tour in the future. So yeah, stay tuned, and we'll see you in our next episode.
Or see you on tour.
Oh yeah, come and say hello to us if you see us on tour.
Thanks for listening.
Okay, see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Robbie Williams Rewind.